Burl here at YCS Indy with Yu-Gi-Oh! What's up, man?
Yu-Gi-Oh! and Team Bordeaux.
God, yes. And with please introduce yourself to the world top 32 contestant.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ojama White. I topped YCS Indy 2024 with snakeeyes Kashtira.
AKA Joel White.
Yeah.
Nice. What made you decide to play this deck for the event?
I just felt like this was going to be a hand trap format, so I wanted the deck with the most gas, so I didn't get stopped very often. I felt like the pure can play more hand traps and has more space for non-engine, but this has like a better rogue matchup, which there's going to be a lot of non-cash today. So I felt like, okay, this is probably better. You play through hand traps better, you make overall better boards, and I just liked it.
Okay. Any shout outs before we get?
Yeah, shout out to there's too many locals people to mention, but I'll shout out my two favorite locals, TGS in Tinley Park, Illinois. It's the best locals around the area. And then my favorite hole in the wall in Portage, Indiana, Dragon's Lair.
Yes, without further ado, please show us the top 32 goo.
All right, here, so I'll start with my main deck. The Snake Eyes cash stuff is, or the Snake Eyes stuff is pretty standard. You do your that. You got your 3 witch, your planet, that. Triple of that, and then 1 for 1. And then for the cash stuff, it's pretty standard too. You just play 2 of that, and then the brick. So I sided this out a lot going second, just because like it's nice. I'm a bad side decker. Going first, I always keep it in though, because like it's better at playing through hand traps than it is breaking boards. Unfortunately, like Fender is cracked against like rogue decks and floodgates, but against Snake Eye, it can be good if they end on a mediocre board, but typically they don't end on a mediocre board.
How'd you like this new extender?
The new extender is fantastic. It's a staple. It lets you link climb because it's a spellcaster. You can make number 38, but I don't play that card. Most people do though. I guess that's like the most spicy thing about my list. Everyone's on that, I'm not. But like whenever I make this card, it's just usually climb. What I would do is I'd make like I do the IP with Flamberge play, and then I'd make a generic link 2, then turn that, and then the generic link 2, generic fire link 2 into Celine, get 3 tokens, and just sum it back for an Apo. So my typical end board with just like 1 Ash was like 2 negate Apo, pop engrave, field spell with like typically Ash, and then Flamberge with IP. And then that's pretty much it for like the engine here. And then for the non-engine, the thing I did that was super different was I was super low on hand traps. I think people are playing too many hand traps, honestly, right now. Like, so going into this event, there was 8 cards I knew were going to be in my deck no matter what I played. And I'll just show this now. It was 3 Imp, 3 Droplet, and 2 Talents. These were the best cards in my deck for sure, especially Droplet. Talents was nice, I just don't want to brick on. It's like the worst card to see when you can't activate it. And then Valor's good because it stops the hole effect. Because if you didn't get the whole effect of Ash, of course, sometimes they just pass. And then Ash was good for like really everything that was not the mirror. Sometimes it ended their turn, but I often sided it out. And then my last card was just to fit the theme of extenders was Reborn. This card's cracked. It's like a starter. It fixes hands. It's super solid. And then for my extra deck, it's mostly pretty standard. Like there's the 13, 14 cards are all the same at this point. This card's cracked. It's amazing. You could make this pointing to a Flamberge. Like my Kashtira end board is 3 negate Apo that was made with IP, a Flamberge under the Appaloosa, then Pit Knight pointing to both of them. And then I have field spell setup and all that too. But what's cool is like that turns Flamberge's effect to summon from Spell and Trap into just like another Valor, and Valor's insane right now. And this also did the same thing as Titanic, because the spell negate of Titanic is nice, like 90% of matchups. So if you make that, you just already won the game. And then so that access code. This card I made an insane amount of times. I made this almost every single match. This was like top 5 card in my extra deck. And then this is what I cut number 38 for. I made it like twice. It didn't matter. I still lost. I don't know. I would probably take this out, but I don't know what I put back in. Right now, I'd probably do a second Princess, or I would actually potentially do a Underworld Goddess, just because I did have 1 Towers deck today, and like that would have just saved me. But yeah, that's that. And then for this is the jankiest part. Shout out to Adrian Gonzalez for my side deck. I'm a terrible side deck maker. I did 2 Bestials, Thought they were pretty good against the low deck. Turns out they're not as good as they were. Kurikar. This card was cracked. Everyone should be playing this card, especially against Snake Eye. This was the only 3 of in my side deck, really for mostly rogue stuff. I didn't put it against Snake Eyes or anything like that, but this is for like the low deck and, you know, just the problematic stuff. And then I did a Duster, just kind of a blowout. I played 2 of these for the mirror. I didn't really get too much chance to test it, but it was really good in theory. And like, I'll show you my pattern in a second here, but this is pretty good against the mirror, of course. And then I put this in for rogue decks in particular. This is another card that every Snake Eyes deck should be playing. It doesn't come up too much against the great decks, but when your opponent's playing like, you know, Fossil Dyna Turbo or something silly like that, you have 6 copies in your deck that you can get with like a normal summon, or just, you know, drawing it anyway. And then my floodgates of choice: 1 deck lockdown, 1 anti-spell, 1 skill drain. And I was really high on barrier, so I like 2 barrier. Going against Snake Eye, instead of these, I just put in these, and that's pretty much my going first package. I did not know what was going to be better for this event between these 2 cards, so I just kind of did 1 and 1. But it's kind of nice to get coverage. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Sweet. Well, congrats on getting on the top 32, man. Until next time, Borderline.